this is the first signal for today. It is on the Euro-Yen binary signals 2 hour buy at or near 122.63. And as you can see, I did the 122.66 and I also did the 122.76. Now this came out at 7:15. We had a minimum expiration of 1 hour. So notice that I have an hour and 35 minutes left on this binary option. You can also see that I got the 122.66 for $55, and then I got the 9 a.m. 122.76 for $45 in risk. So I'm going to pause the screen and we will just see what happens. Okay, I just want to show you while we're waiting on this to move what generated the signal price is at the ATR. You also see that the stochastics is coming to the point of being overextended. Now, if you're measuring on the lows, this would be hidden divergence, because price is making higher lows, but the stochastics is making lower lows. So right now, everything I see on this chart is actually supporting the move that I am anticipating. You see that we have a historical support line here, that's the yellow line. We also have the two little white dots here, and sometimes it will come down and touch these white dots, but I do expect it to come back up and test this red plus sign. Okay, that would be an area that should resist price. But remember, I'm long. My strikes are at 122.66 and 122.76. Both of those are under the 122.89. So everything I'm seeing at the chart at the current moment is supporting my long positions on the binary options. Okay, I had to go take my granddaughter to school, and while I was gone, we had another signal come out, this time on the euro dollar at 0592. So the way that I did that one, I was late. This was the bar that gave us the signal. You can see that it did come down to 0592. So I know you could have entered that at 55, but I was late. So I did one at 0596 and I also did one at 0600. Now I did type in a limit order for this at 55 and it was filled. And I'm not sure what I got on the other one. On the other one I got 45. So as you can see, I've taken two signals and I currently have 4 positions. I have an at the money on both, and then I have one out of the money. Okay, now you could also do in the money. For example, there's $18 here you could get, there's $30 here. I don't do those because those are just higher risk trades and I don't like doing them. So we're just going to wait and see what happens. Now this does have about an hour left until expiration. Okay, as you can see, the euro dollar has moved in our direction, and you have captured all but $13 on this one and all but $21 on this particular one. Of course, the euro yen is not moving as we anticipated, so we are at losses on those. And I also did another signal that came in on crude. The actual strike on crude on the signal, let me find that real quick. Okay, the actual signal on crude was at 53.91 and I've got 53.92 and 53.72 on crude. Now I'm not taking profits early because the binary signal results are based on expiration. Okay, so you can see I'm only trading one contract on each of these, and I'm waiting until expiration to see the actual value. Okay, sorry about that, but I had a phone call. You can see that the euro US dollar did expire in the money on both. On the euro yen, you can see that it did not expire in the money. Now, this is where having the indicators will benefit you, and I'm going to show you why. And you can see now it's going to go up and it's going to do what we anticipated it to do. But I want to actually show you why. Okay, this was our signal line, which was at 122.66. Now remember, I told you it could come down and it could test this congestion dot, which is exactly what's happening. Do you see how you have a magenta dot over here on the ADX? This is what said this would come down to this ATR, which was at 122.66. This is a 60-minute, okay? So what happened on the signal, and you wouldn't know this unless you had the indicators, is this time frame, this signal here, this little blue dot, was going against the 60-minute time frame. Okay, you can see we were overextended here, and we had that magenta peak here. So that means that you're coming down to this ATR. Well, our strike price was above what this value was, and this is why I tell you it could come back and it could very well test this congestion dot. Without the indicators, you wouldn't know that. But again, if you took the signals, you're at break even. You haven't really lost money, you haven't made money, because the euro dollar worked out in your favor. The euro yen didn't. And in the meantime, you still have your crude. Now this does not expire until 10 a.m. this morning. So you can see it has moved down to 32, and I think you had like $35 of profit maybe. And it may go up and it may close above these areas now. But again, the results for the binary signals I base on expiration, because it depends really on what your level of trading binary options is all about. Okay? So I'm going to pause it and we'll see what happens here. Okay, as you can see, both of the binaries expired in the money, so I realized the full profit potential. And this just gives you an excellent idea of different ways that you can actually trade the binary signals, whether you actually have the indicators or not.